Alright, some more budget magic. Still playing our blue-black Phoenix Wall Mill deck. And yeah, I mean, we got some walls. Hopefully we draw into some spells to go with them. Thankfully we got some Stry lands. So we'll just eat on a temple here. We're basically... I don't think we want Dismal Backwater. We basically want spells. We want counter spells, card draw spells. Ooh, interesting. Oh, I guess we'll play another temple. Ooh, I think we keep Dig, even though it's not going to be good for a while. But our walls should be decent in this matchup. Hangerback Waka. Well, I think we start with a... face down Monastery. I think we'll just play Wall of Frost. This way, if our opponent taps out for the Scissors, Ensoul Artifact, we can still block. The thing I've realized about this deck too is it deals damage in 5s. So something like a Dismal Backwater is sometimes like an entire turn off the clock. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Well, we drew one of our two Phoenixes. And we have 12 toughness on board. So that's about a 4-turn clock of tapping. If our opponent attacks, we're going to block. I mean, if they kill our walls, sure. Well, I guess we just play our god and then sit on Clash of Wills starting next turn. Our opponent is realizing what's happening. They have an actual counterspell? Are they going to sack their Hangerback to kill a Monastery Flock? Oh, the crazy things this deck makes people do. So our opponent sacked a land and spent a Shrapnel Blast to kill Monastery Flock, which is barely playable in draft. But yeah, I mean, 12 cards a turn, that's a lot of cards. Now the only real question is, do we even want to block? Our opponent goes with Whirler Rogue. That's actually a decent one, because it can make things unblockable. So we're going to want to draw Languish, would be nice. Alright, Hangerback's unblockable. We're going to take 3. And then I think we are going to actually mill ourselves here, because that will automatically turn on our dig through time. And we draw Swamp. So now we can actually we can dig right now. What do we want here? I guess Mnemonic Wall. We can use that to get back Dig, but we already have one. So I think we go Ultimate Price to kill Whirler Rogue and Radiant Fountain to gain some life? Or would we rather Scry? I guess the life is probably more important. We wanted to find a Languish there, but this will have to do for now. So we can play a Radiant Fountain, go back up to 20, and just kill this Whirler Rogue with our Ultimate Price. So we're still going to take some damage, unfortunately. But that slows it down. Another Chief of the Foundry. Good news is, if he attacks with ground creatures like this, we get to make the Hangerback non-tap next turn. Now I think we're going to mill ourselves one more time. Oh, we drew the dig. Well, I guess we just dig again, see if we can find a languish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty sweet, you can just tap a wall and then dig for 2 over and over again. Alright, there's... Alright, Foul Renewal and Languish. I guess we take Foul Renewal and Languish. Maybe we should have taken Radiant Fountain, actually. That might have been a mistake. And then we can cast Languish. Let's do this properly. Play the land. Yeah, I think taking Radiant Fountain might have been better there. Languish. Puts our opponent down to 2 1/1 flyers. And pass the turn. Springleaf Drum isn't too threatening at the moment. And another land. And Shrapnel Blast our face. Alright, our opponent's out of cards, but we are down to 4 life. We're going to mill our opponent this time, I think. Ghost Fireblade and a ton of lands. That's another Languish. Opponent doesn't have an artifact. Well, I guess we just Languish again. We would like an actual counter spell. The other option is to Mnemonic Wall for a dig end of turn, but then we could potentially lose to a Shrapnel Blast. Yeah, I think it's safest just to Languish here. Pass the turn. And then we can just start sitting back on our Clash of Wills and our Foul Renewal. Just a land, alright. So, mill our opponent. Well, since our opponent doesn't have an artifact, I think we're safe to Mnemonic Wall here. Getting back a dig. Because even if they draw a Shrapnel Blast, they don't have an artifact to sack. So we can just take the dig for now, pass the turn. Opponent's passing. So now end of turn, we'll dig. Taking everything but the Wall of Frost, because we want it there for the Foul Renewal. And we will take... Dissolve for sure. And... I guess another dig. So we can always tap our wall to fuel it if we need to. But I think we just go after our opponent again here. Wall of Frost. Alright. So we'll just ship the turn. Have we hit? We can kind of figure out what our opponent might have. Alright, we've only hit 2 Shrapnel Blasts, so there is a reasonable chance Shrapnel Blast is what they're holding. But it doesn't matter. Whew! The Phoenix Wall of Frost and Dig Through Time synergy is awesome. And also hilarious. Oh man. So what are we doing against this deck? We probably need to rest on the play for sure, or on the draw for sure, to not get scissored on turn 2. Our ultimate prices really aren't that great. That leaves us really short on early removal. And we're leaning hard on Languish, which doesn't necessarily beat something with Scissors. Kind of got fortunate not to run into Scissors this game. But I guess we gotta try it. We gotta hope we can duress the Scissors on turn 1 and then counter everything that matters for the rest of the game. I guess the other good news is that our walls do a pretty good job of shutting down a lot of the scissored creatures, like a Darksteel Citadel, for instance. Not so great against Ornithopter. Oh, Affinity, go! And a Ghostfire Blade. Alright, pretty quick start for our opponent. Guess we'll just lead on a Temple, get the Scry. Murderous Cut. I think we really want Murderous Cut. That kills basically anything. Not a Darksteel Citadel with the scissors on it, but... Oh boy. And speaking of the scissors, here they come. Ensoul Artifact on Darksteel Citadel. Swift speeds up the clock. Wait a bit. Well, I guess we'll play Evolving Wilds. Ghostfire Blade. Well, our opponent kind of had their nut draw. Swamp, I guess. So, it seems unlikely that we're going to win this one. That's just quite the fast start for our opponent. They could even have a Stubborn Denial. Clash of Wills. Well, I guess it's Dismal Backwater Gain a Life. I don't even know what our out is, honestly. There isn't one? I guess this would be a good reason to have some sort of bounce. We're just gonna get blasted. Yeah, alright. Well, our opponent just had the super fast hand, and we didn't really draw anything. We could bring in Freaka's Cure. I think we just, maybe we probably should have, no, this is fine. We're gonna run it back like this. Hope our opponent's hand is just a little less fast. Well, this is better, just because we have a Duress, which can come down before our opponent can play Scissors. And we will keep Wall of Frost. There's Ghostfire Blade. So we're just going to Duress right now to try to minimize the chance of us getting scissored. Yes, there's Ensoul Artifact, so we will certainly take that. And then just play another Scryland. Do we want Island? I guess it guarantees we're going to cast Jace's Ingenuity on time, so it might be worth it just because of that. Another Ghostfire Blade. So we'll play Wall of Frost here. Our opponent is going to start playing Thopter Squadrons and being able to equip them up with Ghostfire Blades, which is kind of bad for us. I guess we play another Wall of Frost, play Evolving Wilds, hope our opponent just didn't draw another land for the Squadron. Alright, not a land, that's good. Crack our Evolving Wilds. I don't know if it really matters. I guess we'll take Swamp. Dissolve is actually very good. So now we'll pass the turn. If our opponent plays a Thopter Squadron, we can counter it. If they don't, So we want to counter that. Maybe? It does have flying. Yeah, I guess we counter it. That would be 4 damage a turn in the air, which is kind of a lot. Evolving Wilds, I think we can put that to the bottom. So our opponent, we know they have Shrapnel Blast, Thopter, or Spy Network. I keep saying Squadron. 2 Thopter Spy Networks and an unknown card. Well, we drew another counter. We really want to fire off this Jason's Ingenuity. A little scary that it could get countered, but I think we got to try it. Yeah, there's Stubborn Denial. That's too bad. Well, play the Dismal Backwater. So we know the hand. We know every card in the hand. It is double Spy Network, double Spy Network, and that Shrapnel Blast. Oh, do we counter this? Maybe we should? Yeah, I think we counter it. Foul Renewal's not looking too great right here. It's too bad that our Chase's Ingenuity got countered. Maybe I should have been more patient until we could have paid for Stubborn Denial. Well, Dissolve is solid. We can mill pretty quickly once we get a Phoenix. The Mnemonic Wall getting back Jace's Ingenuity is really tempting, but I think we need one more land before we try that, just so we don't get Spy Networked. Spy Network does have potential to beat us, but I think we needed to counter those Ornithopters, as silly as that sounds. Eventually, alright, so next turn, our opponent can start casting Spy Networks. So untap land means Mnemonic Wall. Oh man. Oh man. So we can mill for 14 a turn? I think we gotta go for it. I mean, our opponent gets to resolve a Spy Network, but that's a lot of milling each turn. Shrapnel Blast. Yep, we're down to 16. I think our opponent may have drawn another Blast. But here's Spy Network. But I think we might be able to mill them out faster than that Spy Network can kill us. Well, we might as well duress. Taking... second Spy Network. And then we can... Mnemonic Wall. Getting back duress. And... take a Stubborn Denial, I guess. And now we get to, we get to mill for 21 on our opponent's turn, untap, and mill for $1 million. So we got there. Oh, this deck just keeps winning somehow.